Hello, I'm Kate. Welcome to the Hawthorn Cottagecraft podcast. This is episode 35 and today is Saturday the 4th of April. I can be found on Instagram as Kate_Hawthorncottagecraft, on Ravelry as ARunnerBean, and there's a Ravelry group for the podcast called Hawthorn Cottagecraft Podcast. If you're here for the first time, you're very welcome. It's lovely to see you and I hope you enjoy our community, and if you do so, please click like and subscribe and maybe hit the wee bell button and you'll see when I upload. And shockingly, it has been quite quick since the last episode. And if you're a returning viewer, it's lovely to have you back and to have you back in the cottage again. Today isn't going to be a particularly long episode. It isn't that long since I podcast the last time, maybe, is it 1 week, maybe 2? I can't remember, but it's really close to the last time, so I haven't actually an awful lot to show you, but I just thought I would tune in and see how you all were. I hope you're all staying safe and well and finding some kind of routine and some kind of norm in this very unusual situation that we find ourselves in globally. I've been trying to get into routine here, just trying to keep a Monday to Friday routine of things about the house, kind of doing housework and all those things that I'm not overly fond of doing but need to be done. So I'm trying to keep that routine in Monday to Friday, and then at the weekends I do nothing, just craft and relax, which is really nice. And with no added pressure of going out or having a taxi anywhere, it is really nice. There's more crafting time at the weekend. I also have been trying to get my daily exercise in, or allowed once a day exercise. I'm trying to get that in and just keep fitness up, and it's just nice to get out in the fresh air. And our weather, quite surprisingly, has been really good. Today is the first day we've really seen rain in about 2 weeks, which is very unusual for this part of Ireland, but getting the exercise in has been lovely. Other than that, I've been trying to get a little bit of craft in every day, and I'll show you what I've done, which, as I said, isn't very much, but I have enjoyed what I've been doing, kind of getting back into my knitting groove. I've been really getting back into the knitting podcasts, which I'd been out of for a little while, but I've really enjoyed catching up with people. I think it's just really nice to connect with everybody at the moment. So last time I showed you the socks that I've been working on, I had one finished, and I have it here in a little bag. I had this one finished, and I had the cuff of the second sock done. This is the heel toe Dosey Do sock. It's by Kay Litton, who is the crazy sock lady, and if you have been here before, you know I love her patterns, and she has a new pattern out, and I'll put the name of it across the bottom. And I'm really looking forward to starting it. I have to start stash diving for yarn for it. I had actually bought yarn for it and then felt a bit guilty for having bought it and cancelled the order again, because I'm trying to be good through this whole episode and not spend unnecessarily. Anyway, that's a tangent. I'm working on the heel toe Dosey Do sock at the moment, and I'm about 2/3 of the way up the leg of it. It's a 64 stitch cast on as per usual, on 2.5mm, which is a US 1.5 needle, a 2x2 rib. And then the pattern. The pattern is only in the front of the sock. The back is just plain simple stocking stitch. And what's really nice is that at the front you really see the chevron shape in the stripes, and it's just a simple stripe at the back. So I'm really pleased with these as they're working. The yarn that I'm using is Sweet Sparrow yarns. It's the Hedwig colourway, and it's really pretty. I think it's just really lovely coming in now to the springtime, the colours that we have. The base for the yarn, if I can find the label. I think I have it, maybe I don't. I don't have the label. It's just really soft and it's a dream to work with. I'm really enjoying these socks. It's kind of renewed my sock mojo, which had been absent for quite a while. Sock knitting had become a bit of a trudge. But I'm really enjoying this and looking forward to getting to the heel and getting that done. I'd like maybe by the next time I talk to you to have these finished and maybe the next pair of Crazy Sock Lady socks on the needles. But I'm loving these. So I've worked on those. It's usually when I'm having my breakfast in the morning that I work on those, so they only get a few rows in at a time, and maybe if I sit down for a coffee in the kitchen later in the day, keep these in the kitchen, I might work at it another little bit. But since the last time, I think the last time I spoke to you, I was talking about the sweater projects that I had and that I wanted to get finished, and I still want to finish those, but I haven't actually worked on them since the last time I spoke to you. This time I did cave in and cast on something new. I cast on the Felix Sweater by Amy Christoffers, and I'll insert a photograph of the pattern here. And this sweater is the perfect, fast, speedy, feel-good knit. I wanted something, both the projects I've been working on are fingering weight and they're taking a long time, and they've been on the needles, well, one of them has been on the needles for a very long time, and I just wanted something quick and satisfying that would use some of my stash, because obviously I wasn't buying yarn, and that I would have enough of stash for. And this was perfect. It's an Aran weight sweater, and I am using this beauty. This is yarn from Adele McBride, and I have the labels here. And Adele McBride is a knitwear designer in Ireland here, and she's very local to me. She's actually very local to where I grew up and to my mum, and she's based in Derry and in County Donegal. And this yarn is 100% Irish wool. It is, as far as I know, I think she gets it spun in Studio Donegal, so it really is local. And the colourway of this is Sleeve League, and Sleeve League is a beautiful spot in County Donegal, said to be the highest sea cliffs in Europe, and it's stunning, stunning part of the world. And this colourway is named after Sleeve League, and it's beautiful. It's a tweed, Aran tweed, and just look at those colours that are popping in the yarn. They are lovely, huge cakes. I think there's 238 grams here, which is 508 yards. I'm not sure what that is in meterage. And it's just beautiful. So I have that one still to use, but I did get started. This is knit on 5mm needles, so it is whizzing up really quick. It's actually on 6mm needles. And this is how far I have got since the last time. I think I cast this on last weekend. Possibly. Maybe earlier than that. But it's top down, as you can see. And then you divide for the sleeves. And it's a really simple construction of a sweater. There's nothing complicated. There's no shaping in it. But it has just this lovely little bit of detail along the raglan sleeve. I'm trying to... Oh, sorry about the banging of the needles. There's just this little bit of lace work on the front and on the back, just along the raglan shaping, and it just gives it that little bit of interest. But now that I've passed that, I'm simply working down. I think I have to work to something like 9 inches before I do the ribbing. This is going to be finished in no time. I'm even hoping that I'll certainly have the body finished by the end of the weekend. But isn't the yarn knitting up beautifully with those colours? This is going to be such a versatile sweater. It is going to go with so many colours. Move the coffee. I hope you all have your cup, but I forgot to say at the start. It has all the colours. This will go with so many things. Different shirt colours will go under this really, really well. So it's long sleeved, and the sleeves, because they're this style, will be so easy to pick up and work down, and it is absolutely zooming along. So if you're looking for a really speedy, satisfying knit that I've seen a hashtag going around at the minute called quarantine knitting, hashtag quarantine knitting or quarantine knits. I suppose this is my quarantine knit, for want of a better phrase. I really don't want something associated with all this in the title of it, but I do get the point of it, and I love the way this is knit, and it has really lifted me this week. It has lifted my spirits, seeing it take shape so quickly and just seeing the little pops of colour in it. So that is really all my knitting. This year I hadn't planned any knit-alongs, but in the last few days I've changed my mind, and I think it might be fun to have a knit-along, crochet-along from now until the 30th of June. This is a really relaxed, informal knit-along. All I want you to do is to post in a thread in the Ravelry group for the podcast your finished object between now and, as I said, the 30th of June. There are no other rules to this. It's finish off whatever project you're working on. If you start a project within that time, as long as you've finished it, then you can post a picture of it. It can be anything. It can be garments, it can be shawls, it can be socks, mitts. If you've knit it, if you've crocheted it and you've finished it, you can post it within the thread for this cal. You can be 90% done to start with now and have only 10% of it to finish. There are no rules as to how much you have to have done or completed before we start. Just finish your project. It's a chance to post what you've been doing. By the end of June, anything that is entered has to be finished. That's the only requirement. I will put a thread for finished objects, and please don't chat in that one. Just put up the pictures. It makes it slightly easier to pick for the prize at the end. And I'll put up a chatter group and you can chat away on that. And if you want to talk to each other about what you've been doing, just keep all the comments and chats about any of the posts within that thread. At the end of June, I will pull a number. I will get a random number and we will get a prize winner. And I have actually a prize already here to show you, and this will be the prize on offer. We have some yarn, and it's bear in sheep's clothing, and this is a bear Masham ARun, so it's the skein of ARun, and it's 75% blue-faced Leicester and 25% mid-brown Masham. And bear in sheep's clothing is very local to me. Bernie is a Belfast dyer, and this is one of her beautiful skeins. It's called Lagoon, and the colours in it are beautiful. You know me, I love green, and just these shades of green are beautiful. So there's a skein of that. There'll be enough in that certainly for a hat or a small project. And I have also this little project bag. It's like a brushed cotton bag with linen on the back, and this is by a local maker called Rag Button, and you should look at her work on Instagram. She makes beautiful bags. This is machine embroidered and it's so pretty, and she donated this bag to the podcast as a prize. So she's Rag Button. I'll put her details at the bottom, and I'll put Bear in Sheep's Clothing details at the bottom as well and underneath the video. So this is the prize that's on offer for the knit along. As I said, it's a really informal knit along. I'll try and think of a hashtag that if you're putting stuff on Instagram, you can put the hashtag after it. I'll put it along the bottom here when I've thought of one that hasn't been used already. So that's what's on offer. So we have from now, today's the 4th of April, so you have April, May and all of June to finish up all your projects. Maybe I'll get one of those sweaters that has been lurking on my needles for a long time finished as well. Maybe that'll be the motivation to do that. But it's just something to keep us going and to keep everybody's spirits up as much as possible. As I said at the start, I hope this finds you well, and I hope that you're finding some joy and something pleasant and something happy in every day. It might not be a big thing, it could be a very small thing, but I hope you're all finding something, and as I said, I hope you're all staying safe and well. And if you are out there having to do frontline work, thank you, and I hope you stay safe in the jobs that you're doing, that we are all very, very thankful for, and we've realised how much we are depending on you, and thank you. So stay safe everybody and enjoy your knitting, and I'll talk to you next time.